Hi, this is Monica Cornetti with another episode of Monica's Morning Musings. So we're in the middle of a level 1 certification. We at Sentential lead 3 different levels. Level 1 is called a gamification surveyor. It's basically the introduction to our Pirate Tales treasure map. It's a 30-step process to implementing gamification into your adult learning programs. It's trademarked, it's proven. If you need to learn how to do it, if you're making too many mistakes and you don't know what to fix, trust us. Use our Pirate Tales treasure map. We'll help you figure out what you're messing up with, where you're not quite making the mark. There's 30 stepping stones on that map, and it's probably one of those stepping stones. And I can tell you one that I know right away that a lot of us are missing in learning and development, and that's in the very first level of the map, and it's called the Lost Lagoon. And the reason that it's lost is because if we start our gamification design without knowing where we're going, we're on that ghost ship to nowhere. One of the things about knowing where we're going is who's playing our game. You know, marketing has been using personas and target marketing since marketing came into being. Can you imagine bringing somebody onto your marketing team who doesn't have a strategy for targeting and segmenting different markets? You wouldn't hire them, because how we're going to speak to, what kind of colors, images, languaging, all of that is going to vary depending on who that target audience is. For some reason in L&D, we've totally missed that step. We've bought into the falsehood that you've got to design this program for 12,000 people and they got to take it, and it's a compliance course and everybody has to take it. And because they have to take it, it really doesn't matter how it's designed. Doesn't matter if it's dry, dull, and boring. Doesn't matter if you literally want to stick a pencil in your eye because you'd rather die now than have to waste an hour of your life. Now, maybe no one comes out and says those words, but when they insist, they being the people who get a seat at the table, that we design all our programs and everyone has to take them without taking into account who's playing our game, we are on a ghost ship to nowhere. It won't work. We wonder why training is the first thing that gets cut on budgets when things get tight, and it's because people have this false belief that training doesn't work. Well, it depends on what you're doing. If I'm just giving you information and giving you a multiple choice quiz and then can't figure out why you can't apply that in the workplace, that's my fault, not the learner's fault. That's the company's fault. We've got to start taking this more seriously if we want a seat at the table where we belong in learning and development, because we are providing this service of information and application so people can learn something to do something different in the workplace. Then we got to get serious about design, how design happens. And one of those is personas. Now, at Sentential, we've created a ton of resources. Some of those are free, some of those are low cost out at our Gamified Learning Academy. We've got some free downloads for you on how to get started on developing learner personas. It's not easy. It can be difficult. We usually allot about 10 days, 20 days sometimes to do a discovery when we're developing a custom project. It can cost up to $20,000 just to do the discovery. But what we know is if we're designing for thousands and thousands of people, it's better to spend that $20,000 up front and get it right than to just throw money in the middle of the room and light a match to it and hope that it works, especially in gamification design. If you're wanting to get into gamification design, you've got over 190 game mechanics that you can use in your learning programs to either trigger someone to take an action or give feedback, recognition, reward on an action taken. So if you've got 190 mechanics, you better know which ones your personas are going to find appealing, are going to satiate their core motivators. All of that comes through persona development. Ask anyone you know in marketing, do you do any marketing without developing a persona or a targeted segment before you start? They'll look at you like you are nuts. We can't do it either. My musing for today: what are you doing to identify your learners that are taking your programs? And I've got a secret. If you're thinking that I don't know who's taking my program, I designed it for a client or somebody else, I've got a secret that I'll follow up with in a second musing along the way that'll teach you how you can know that even if you don't have access to who your learners are. Thanks so much for joining me for a Monica Morning's Musing. We'll see you again.